Hello, Foul Pals. Welcome back to Orchids for Dummies. And in today's video, we are going to talk about 7 reasons why your Phalaenopsis orchid leaves are turning yellow. Stay tuned, Foul Pals. Okay, Foul Pals, so before we begin, please join my Facebook group. Join my Facebook group called Foul Pals. That way you have immediate access to not only me, but all of my Foul Pals. And in my Foul Pal group, we are family. And family is there for each other. So you do not have to wait till the next video to find out what's wrong with your Phalaenopsis orchid. Ask your local Foul Pal, and they will help. Alright, Foul Pal, so let's begin. We're going to start with the first obvious one of the night. And that is going to be that's going to be a temperature shock, okay, baby? Anytime your leaves all of a sudden just fall off like this with no rhyme or reason, and I'm talking about at an expedited rate, that's going to be a temperature shock because younger leaves should never yellow and drop off. Usually a cold shock through water temperature or droughts can be the cause. Always ensure that the water temperature is warm before using it on your plants, and there is no droughts hitting the plant through poor window sills or open doorways. Air conditioning hitting the plants directly can also lead to this problem, and that is why this is number 1 on my list, because in my last video I moved it from in the kitchen all the way to closer to the humidifier, which is going to be facing my front window, and it's also right up under a vent. So because my auntie Carolyn, she said that the it needs to be in a hot humid place, and sitting right up under a heat ventilation, that would surely be a hot humid place, but not for this miniature Phalaenopsis right here, Foul Pals. So unfortunately there is nothing that I can do to save this Phalaenopsis. Look, that's why I didn't even want to touch her. As you can see, it's not root rot because all of the roots look just fine, Foul Pals. The roots look just fine. It's such a shame. But stay tuned, Foul Pals. Now, Foul Pals, the second leading cause of your Phalaenopsis leaves to turn yellow is going to be just its normal behavior, okay? The leaves on the Phalaenopsis do not last forever, Foul Pals. Actually, the lifespan of a leaf on a Phalaenopsis is going to be anywhere between 3 to 5 years if treated carefully. Now, the reason that the Phalaenopsis leaf turns yellow is because naturally it's going to pull nutrients from this leaf, because this is one of the organs of this Phalaenopsis, okay? Its leaf, it holds a lot of nutrients and water in its leaves. Now, as you can see, the entire leaf has yellow pigmentation on it, and that's because slowly but surely it's draining it from the top, and it's going to suck it all the way into the rhizome of the plant, which is going to be right here, Foul Pals. Now, the reason that it does that is because naturally a Phalaenopsis is in the wild, and of course some kind of damage is going to come to it over time. Even here in my home, you can see that it has a little bit of sunburn and also just a little fungus right here, but it's okay. And so that's going to ask the question right there, Foul Pals, is it okay to cut the leaf of a Phalaenopsis orchid? Well, absolutely, only when it has some type of bacteria infection, and normally it's going to have a smell as well. So I'm only going to cut the portion of the leaf that is infected, and right here where this slit is in the leaf, that lets me know that this Phalaenopsis was stressed at one point. So I'm just going to cut it off right here, Foul Pals. Always make sure to use sterile scissors or shears to cut on your Phalaenopsis, okay, Foul Pals? Stay tuned. Yes. Okay, so we back. All of my new subscribers, welcome to the place where we can be Foul Pals, honey. Welcome to the place where it's each one teach one, darling. Welcome to the Orchid channel that you do not go to sleep on. I'm sorry, Foul Pals, but we are live at 5. So now that I have my clean shears, I'm going to cut just as I said. Just like that, Foul Pals. And as you can see, the bacteria has not spread it, so the rest of the leaf is going to be fine. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Q-tip and I'm going to dip it in some water, and then I'm going to put some cinnamon on it, and I'm going to rub it on the rest of the leaf to close up this open wound. All right, Foul Pals, stay tuned. So Foul Pals, carefully to do this, because as you can see, I have some roots up under here, and cinnamon is going to close up or absorb water. That's what it's going to do. So that's why it's great for closing up the wounds or any marks on the leaf of a Phalaenopsis. Okay? And this is also the cure to crown rot, Foul Pals. We are going to get there, Foul Pals. We are going to get there, baby. Yes, honey. Welcome, honey. Welcome to Orchids for Dummies. Each one teach one, Foul Pals, honey. Yes, darling. Yes, honey. Yes. Yes, honey. So, okay, so that's it for this plant. She's going to be fine. Everything is going to be okay. As I said, you know, the blooming cycle of this Phalaenopsis is over. So the next thing that she's going to do is enter her vegetative state. And she's going to start producing new roots and new leaves. That's why I went ahead and did that repot on her. But all right, Foul Pals, honey, stay tuned because she know what she talking about. So number 4 on the list is going to be crown rot. Crown rot will cause all of your leaves to shed and the whole plant to die if left unchecked. And the reason why I'm showing you pinky is because that right there, that was just from a pellet of water sitting on top of the new growth as she was still coming up. Now that could have easily turned into crown rot if it was closer to the middle, which is going to be the axis of the plant, which is where all of the new growth come from. So be aware to make sure to get any water from the crown of your Phalaenopsis out of the way, okay? Also, I don't want you to get it confused thinking that every time you see a dark coloration in between your leaves that the orchid is dying or it has crown rot, and then you go running trying to put some cinnamon in it, honey. Trying to put some cinnamon in it thinking that you doing some when you actually ain't doing nothing. Ain't doing nothing. Because the reason why it's dark, baby, the reason why it's dark is because the natural color of this plant is that color. So this is what you're seeing. And it's like a magenta color. Okay, Foul Pals? And I just want to say, excuse the lighting. Excuse the lighting, honey. I'm trying to get it together. I'm trying to get it together, honey. So, all right. That also leads us to number 5. Number 5 on the list is going to be a mineral deficiency. Okay? Younger leaves should never yellow. Ensure that your fertilizer is properly balanced for orchids, and it contains micronutrients or trace elements. A shortage of these will cause leaves to discolor and develop abnormally. Correcting this problem will fix the leaves that are already damaged. They will need to be replaced in the normal cycle of growth. So, now let me bring Pinky back out so you can see the obvious difference. Now you see the color of this Phalaenopsis? Okay. Oh, honey, it was zoomed in. I'm so silly. Orchids for Dummies, honey. But, okay, now you see how dark Pinky is? Okay. Now, if you want to know what crown rot really looks like, I will leave an info card above. And I will also leave a link to the video that I've already done explaining crown rot. Okay, but this is the mineral deficiency. Pinky is dark green, which lets you know he is rich in potassium. Now, I don't know if it will show up on camera, but it's light patches of yellow, and just the color of it. I don't want you to think that every orchid that's high yellow. Every orchid that's high in color, honey, has a deficiency. But let me see if I can hold it up to the light and that you will be able to see it more adequately, because you can actually, or I can actually see it on this Phalaenopsis as well, letting me know that she's not getting all of the minerals that she needs. Hopefully you can see it, because I think you can kind of see how it's kind of like bright yellow patches. It's not too evident because it's obviously not too much of a problem, but it's something that you want to be on the lookout for when growing your Phalaenopsis. I did see Rick L from Rick L Orchids do this before, so hopefully you can find it in his video because, honey, now, pals, we are going to close this thing on out, baby. But first, I would like to give thanks to a website called cloudsorchids.com. I will leave that information in the description box below. But they have a website that is so easy to use that's able to formulate and diagnose any problems that you have with your orchids in general. So that's a very good website that you guys can go and check out. That also proves that these videos is just for your entertainment purposes. So Phal Pals, I mean, calm down, baby, calm down. We are going to make orchids fun again. I want my daughter, my little bitty 4-year-old daughter, repotting Phalaenopsis orchids with me. This is not the channel, baby, that we fall asleep on. Don't fall asleep on me, honey. Let's learn. Let's talk. Let's get it up together, Phal Pals. So, number 7 on the list is just going to be something cultural. Like I said, this right here on Pinky, it could have been a lot worse. If you go back to my old video, White Mold on Orchids, that video has my Vandal Charles in it. And as I was holding him, one of his leaves fell completely off, honey. And it started with something like this. And then it turned really mushy and gushy. It turned brown and then black. Now this stopped because I caught it in one of my videos, and then I put a little cinnamon on it, and it's okay now. But Phal Pals, just be on the alert, baby. This is the time, honey, when everybody starts to get their Phalaenopsis orchids, honey. So when you see someone with an orchid, honey, tell them, go to youtube.com and put in Orchids for Dummies so they can get their life. But I thank you guys so much for tuning in. If I have done anything or said anything that offended you, from the bottom of my heart, I apologize. I humble myself and I ask that you forgive me. And as I said, this is a new channel. This all started out as a gag. This started out as a gag, honey. But I'm here and I'm here to stay. So if you don't like it, honey, guess what? Stick around until next time!